Hey folks, this is Dr. Deniz, the Wellness Doc, bringing you all things healthy for your mind, body, and soul. I wanted to share some of my top role models and how they positively influenced my life. And this is a prelude to the 21st episode of my podcast entitled Comprehensive Health and Wellness, found on all major hosting platforms. I will put the link where? Down below. Okay, number one on the list is Bruce Lee. This guy was not only a phenomenal physical specimen, but mentally he was the epitome of discipline and focus. And I love his analogy in relation to water and this correlation of being very fluid and yet can be still at the same time and also possess tremendous stored energy. I call it perpetual motion, like the ocean. And I had the opportunity of studying Wing Chun with one of the masters in the whole lineage of Bruce Lee. So this gentleman was from China, amazing man. We trained in the basement of a beauty salon in New York City. No one knew that we were there. I learned things that actually saved my life. In the 1990s, probably before a large percentage of you were born, things got really bad and people got attacked because of their color, and I knew that I needed to learn something to save my own life. Gangs were rampant, and I feel very blessed that incorporating the Wing Chun with several other types of martial arts and self-defense literally saved my life, and then I was able to help do the same for strangers and other people in my life. So Bruce Lee's principles of this constant, I call it constant evolution, where no matter how good you get at something, you can always fine tune and get to the next level. And it was amazing how he had this just unbelievable ability to adapt when he was fighting. So he literally was reassessing the situation in seconds, and then the evolving and the adaptation was done instantaneously so that he can be victorious in his fights. He's also one of the first martial artists to incorporate weight training, which I know growing up around Kung Fu that it was almost a bad thing. I've heard from many senseis about how they're not fans of weight training, yet Bruce Lee was one of the strongest human beings pound for pound, and it was the opposite of the perception where quite a few of these martial arts masters thought that weight training would make you slow. It was the opposite. Bruce Lee was lightning fast to the point where most people couldn't even see his punches and his strikes. So just an amazing man. To this day, we don't know the truth about how he died, but he left a legacy behind. And one of the other things I loved about him is he was very humble, and you cannot judge someone on how they look. He was underestimated most of the time at, I think he was around 145 pounds. Big mistake. Size does not determine the capability of being able to fight, the proficiency of being a skilled fighter. There's no correlation. So I was talking to Uncle Pauly. You guys know him. He's, by the way, we did the podcast this morning, so he's on there. I'm sure you guys will be able to get some awesome kicks out of him and laughs, and he's just a good guy. And, it's important to honestly live the lifestyle. You know, there are many people that have taken martial arts lessons, but how many truly are living the warrior lifestyle where no drinking, no smoking, no drugs, eating super clean and healthy, like my second role model, and I'll get into it in a minute, Mr. Jack LaLanne, really, you know, speaking about eating a large percentage of fruits, vegetables, and fish. And when you eat super clean, it does build up your chi levels, your life force. And that leads into the next thing of living the lifestyle where you have restraint and then you incorporate martial arts in your daily activities. So I do utilize and practice Tai Chi every day, sometimes several times a day. And it does help me to, in my case, feel closer to God. This is where at times I pray, I meditate, and I really can connect at a much better level for my spirituality. And also, there's hundreds of studies out there how things like Tai Chi and meditation link to incredible levels of healing, which that leads into a holistic approach in life and utilizing various types of teas. And like we said earlier, I mentioned, you know, certain fruits and vegetables can turn you into someone who does not get sick. And that's another segue into this whole COVID thing has truly shown, it's really put a spotlight on the level of health, not just in the United States, across the world, and it's not very high. Our immune systems are not where they should be. And obviously there's no guarantees in life, but there are things that have been shown to actions, behaviors that have been shown to promote a high level of health and our immune systems. Okay, the second person I mentioned real quickly was Jack LaLanne. And I call him the father of fitness, and I think a lot of other people do also. And what I loved about him is he loved people. He truly did. And I think Bruce Lee also did in a different way. Jack LaLanne was a competitive swimmer and obviously weight training person, bodybuilder, and also a chiropractor. So his knowledge base was very diverse, and he was able to deliver the information in a very non-threatening way, and he lived it in his life. He lived by example, just like Bruce Lee did. So on his, I think it was his 70th birthday, don't quote me on this, but he was able to pull 70 rowboats with people in it. And I think in the podcast I said New York City. I just read a short article and it said Long Beach, California. Either one, potatoes, but to be able to do that is superhuman. And that's the type of person that he was, is he would start his day with, from what I've read, he would swim for 1 hour, folks, 1 whole hour against a current doing the butterfly. Okay, I'm a swimmer. I can't even do one repetition of the butterfly, and to do it for an hour against a current is insane. And then he would lift weights for an hour, and he lived till he was approximately 97. No medications, no ailments. He died naturally, and he was another one who gave of himself to leave a legacy behind. He was miles ahead of his time with his nutrition recommendations, 50 years ahead of the time, and I follow a lot of his principles and his recommendations when it comes to that. And I'm going to be honest with you folks, and I'm not bragging here, but I rarely get sick, rarely get colds. My skin's really good, and more than that, functioning. And I incorporate swimming several days a week, and I lift weights 3 to 4 days a week, and cardio is another 5 to 6 days a week. So what you put in is what you get out, folks. You know, there's no shortcuts here. And it's a pain in the neck cooking, 98% of my meals. But it's relatively simple. In the morning, it's 3 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, organic spinach, onions, mushrooms at times, hot sauce, pepper, and then I'll have a small piece of fish, about 3 ounces of fish, wild fish always, and it's usually either a wild ahi tuna, salmon, or codfish right now. And then 3 to 4 hours later, depending on how I feel, we'll do a handful of dry roasted or raw nuts, or even dry roasted, no salt, almond butter. And then, another 3 or 4 hours for lunch will be some type of green vegetables, like we'll do bok choy, organic bok choy, or Swiss chard, good amount, like close to a pound. And then we'll throw some ginger and garlic and some red pepper, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, or raw unfiltered coconut oil on there. And again, 3-4 ounces of fish. And then the snack resembles the first snack from the morning if I need it. I might do an avocado, and then I might do a salad before dinner, some nice romaine lettuce, part of a red pepper or organic tomatoes. And dinner is almost the same as lunch. And then in the evening, I might do some wild blueberries, and we're good to go. So that's really helped me over the years. I had lost over 100 pounds. I've kept it off. And, as we age, it gets harder to do this. But I did go a little more into detail in one of my other podcasts, and I'll leave you the link, same area, down there. So I just wanted to share this, that in this time in these challenging times, but also not just because of COVID, just where we are in 2020, that it's hard to find really good, positive role models, but it's crucial for our success in anything that we do. And I did it with hockey, where I was able to choose a few players that I wanted to be like, try to mimic the skills that I could, and it paid off. One of my role models was my sensei that helped save my life. I had anger issues. I didn't know I had PTSD, but I found out later in life. But the martial arts, kept me in check and really helped me up the level of discipline in my life that carried over to professional sports, also school, and my career. And I'm just like Bruce Lee. I'm not done yet. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly fine-tuning. And your title doesn't really mean or define who you are. And I wanted to share out there that, yes, I have PTSD. I am still able to perform optimally, to achieve at a high level, and I do this all holistically. No medications, no drugs. I have an amazing counselor that we do use a holistic intervention, and I've mentioned this before, the EMDR therapy. You can just Google it, and there's tons of information. I also have a few blogs and videos that I've done on that. So the point is this, and I mentioned this, and I'm going to mention it again, especially with COVID, the rate and incidence of dysfunction and conditions in mental health has quadrupled in the past 9 months, 10 months. And it was already high before, and we have to understand that most of us have these types of issues with trauma, anxiety, and depression, and it is not a weakness to ask for the help that we need. It is actually a strength. Any professional athlete, any successful business person seeks out help to move forwards. That is not a weakness. Folks, that has to change, okay? It's not realistic to think that when you don't ask for help that makes you stronger. In reality, that's actually correlates to having pride, which is not productive in your life. So we all need help, And there are tremendous interventions out there that can get you what you want in your life. So, this is Dr. Deniz, providing hope, inspiration, support, encouragement, and specialized knowledge so that you can optimize your level of performance in your lives. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please leave a comment, as it's important for feedback in anything that we do to evolve and fine-tune and move forwards. Knowledge is power, and specialized education is what we all need so that we can become the best people that we need to be. And I'll leave you with this. You give a man a fish or a woman, he or she eats for the day. You give a man or a woman, you teach them how to fish, they fish for a lifetime. Think about it. God bless. Take care. I want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and on the Christian side, baby Jesus came here to save us. That is the real meaning of Christmas. And he is the gift. And isn't that amazing that a father had his child come down here on earth for us strangers and sinners to save us 33 years later as a man that put his life on the line and suffered so that we can break free from the chains and from everything bad in life. That's truly a miracle, and that's the real gift. Okay, everyone. God bless. Take care.